What's up? You are now listening to Americanized, a storytelling podcast where you'll hear from eclectic first and second generation Americans share their stories and real life experiences as children of immigrants. Hey there, I'm your host Roslyn, and happy Immigrant Heritage Month. To celebrate Immigrant Heritage Month, I share stories and insight from my mom, the first immigrant I ever met. Welcome to the mini-series called Mom, Tell Me About Before. In this series, I ask my mom questions I've never asked her before. We share, reflect, and try to understand the experiences that make us who we are. Stay tuned. Welcome back to the show. This is the series finale. This is the last episode in this mini-series that we've been doing together, having these conversations. And this is our conclusion of that. So how has this experience been for you so far? Thinking about these questions and answering them, how has that been for you?
Hello first to begin. I feel like going through this, it's like I discover things that I really never thought of. I think by talking about it, I was aware of certain things. So it's been a great discovery, I would say.
That's good. Yeah, same for me as well. Just understanding more about where I come from, not just the physical place, but who I come from as well. So we'll start with this question that's a little bit deep. The question is, how has immigrating to the U.S. shaped or changed who you were?
So traveling, like immigrating to America at young age, I think I said that before too, like becoming like everything instant, because like I was young back home, still living with family, like you don't have any responsibilities or things to worry about. But coming here at a young age, now you have to face life on your own. So I would say coming here, I have to become mature like ASAP. I have to learn how to be a wife, learn how to be a mother, learn how to be independent. And these are stuff I wasn't worried about when I was back home. I felt like everything was instant, like I said before. For me, it's like I would say speed life that I have to adjust to. So it was more like an adjustment and learning new things. No choice. It's stuff that I had to do. Now you have to like manage the kids, manage the family and, the marriage. So yeah, that was like different from, who I was when I was back home. Right. So that in conclusion, I have to grow up fast, learn fast, adjust fast because of the life circumstance I found myself into, which is marriage, family, kids. It's like everything has to be learned as I go, but in I would say fast paced,
Yeah. As you were talking, I was thinking about maybe when you were back home, and you tell me if I'm wrong, maybe you were more dependent or reliant on family and who was there. And when you came here, maybe you were more self-reliant or you didn't have anyone to really lean on. Is that accurate?
Very accurate. Very, very accurate. Because again, coming to that, like you said, being back home, it doesn't matter like how old you are, as long you live with your parents, they're the one telling you pretty much how to live your life, what to do. But now I was a kid living under my family's roof and relying on them for everything and anything. Then I come here, I become an adult, like just like that, you know? So, very accurate what you said.
Let me ask you this. I'm wondering, maybe this is my American perspective, but
Mm-hmm.
once we, as American young adults, leave our families' home, there's a sense of freedom and independence, even like when it is a choice to leave or whatever the circumstances, we're out of the house. There may be a sense of an independence and freedom. And your circumstance was different, but did you have a sense of that freedom and independence when you left home and came to the US?
Um, I wouldn't say freedom, but independence, like it's something I had to, you know, because like you said before, like now I'm on my own, relying on my own. So I have to be independent to do that for myself and for my kids. But freedom, family, they're still in your ears. Sometimes they try to tell you how to raise your kids. They try to tell you how you should care for your household and stuff like that. But with time, I think when you know that you can do your own thing, your own ways, then you don't really worry too much about what they put in your ears. So the freedom for me came later when I was able to really stand on my own and I'm like, I can do this by myself. I don't need, so and so's opinion or advice, stuff like that. That's when the freedom came
The freedom came
yeah,
with time.
with time.
Well, it's interesting that you didn't feel that sense of freedom even while overseas and you were still receiving support or advice from family back home. Was that something you were seeking or that they just kind of volunteered?
Oh, that's volunteering. It's like if you tell them a situation, for me, I was probably looking for support, you know, but not for you to tell me how I should handle my situation. But that's how they usually do, they tell you what to do, how to do it. Instead of, oh, I think you can do it, they just tell you how to do it instead of encouraging you, oh, it's not a big deal. I know you can handle it, stuff like that. So, yeah,
Mm-hmm. Maybe because you left at a young age, they still saw you as young
as
or
yes,
their child.
yes, I think so.
Mm-hmm.
They still, I remember your grandma, my mother-in-law,
Mm-hmm.
telling me, oh, we even don't know how Emma is going to handle her marriage, her family. She doesn't talk. She's so young, They were very worried about me being so quiet, no being assertive and being like to myself, So they were kind of, how will she handle like family, you know? That's how young I was and innocent and naive I was. So people were really worried about me. I think that's why I was taking advice. Not that I was seeking for it, but they made me feel like I couldn't handle stuff. So they were telling me how to do it. And me too, I didn't feel like I was able to do things on my own. So I was just, listening to their advice because I saw myself still as a young little girl, and it was kind of little hard to get that detachment and freedom to say, yes, I think I can do this on my own. Yeah.
Yeah, that has to be difficult. They're feeding things to you, and then maybe you're internalizing it and needing to then rely on them based off of what they're saying.
Mm-hmm.
Hmm. Is there anything that made you less quiet over the years or maybe come out of your shell more?
I will say I grew up. I grew up and I learned and I became, how will I say, more independent. So mostly I grew up because a lot of stuff I learned on my own, being here by myself, like raising my kids, being a wife. I learned certain things on my own and I learned to stand up for myself. If I don't stand up for myself, I can't stand up for my kids. So I
Mm-hmm.
have to think about that and that in the same way, that's how I can also protect my kids.
Remind us, how old were you when you came to the US?
I think I turned 23 here.
Okay,
Very
yeah,
young.
very young.
Never
Still,
left my family, never went anywhere.
yeah, still figuring yourself out and life
Yeah.
out, still
Mhm.
developing. How do you think your life would be different if you stayed back home?
If I stayed back home, hmm, I would say I'd probably be still, I mean, not with my family, but still be around them. I probably won't grow up the way I grew up, the way I learned things, because I know I was very close to my father, I was very close to family. And I think growing up, I was a people pleaser. So I want everyone around me to be happy. I was very devoted, helping. So I felt like not that I changed, I didn't change. But I feel like I probably won't be as independent like I am now. If I was still home, I'll probably still rely. I mean, not fully, but always go seek for. I mean, of course, we all need advice from our parents. It'd be more constant or too much because being here on my own, I found my own voice. But if I was there the way I was raised and the way I was trained, I don't think I would have been this independent or been this opinionated. So I feel like I'll be still grown, but still feel like a kid, like not fully mature, you know. And I'll have you guys. I don't know. But yeah, something like that.
Yeah, I wonder. Over the years, I've learned about these two words that kind of describes what you're explaining.
Mm-hmm.
There's collectivism, which is identity, having your identity shaped by your family, your community, and a group belonging. So
Mm-hmm.
your identity is attached to your family and the community.
Family, people.
Yeah. And that's not seen too much in American culture. So the other term is individualism, which is identity shaped by personal autonomy, independence, self expression, and having like your own goals and your own vision apart from family and a community. So it sounds like you grew up in the collectivism environment and then coming to America, more individualism.
You got that right. I was thinking the same thing too. When you
Yeah.
were giving both explanation, I'm like, I think I know where I am and where I sums it all.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think it's a very Western way of being and living is being your own person, you're an individual, not relying on family or being like apart from your family.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So that makes sense that how you envision your life if you were still back home is amongst family and the community,
Family. Mm-hmm.
not fully independent or an
Yeah,
individual. Yeah.
that's true. Because family is always there. Everybody or everyone always have something to say, even the way you raise your kids, the
Mm-hmm.
way you like deal with your household, the way you take care of your husband. Someone always has something to say or tell you. Yeah, that's back
Mm-hmm.
home.
Yeah. And I believe that's across cultures too, outside of the Western world in the United States.
Mm-hmm.
Um, the opinions and voices of the family matter.
Yeah, sure does.
Yeah. The last question says, what parts of her still exist? The her is the version of you back home before you came to the US. What parts of her is still here today?
Great question. That will be still caring.
Mm-hmm.
I love my family and I will do anything for my family and I'm still doing anything for my family. Very compassionate
Mm-hmm.
still and loving, funny.
Mm-hmm.
What else? Those three plus the funny part. It's still, I've been like that since, I was a little girl because I grew up in a big family and we learn to care for each other, love each other, and feel each other's pain. So that's how I grew up and I still have that in me. Even though I came here away from family, but I still have that connection, loving connection, caring connection, compassionate connection, that's still there.
Yeah, I was gonna say I agree with all of those, of course, and the family piece I can see that is still
Oh yeah.
very important.
Peacemaker.
Hmm?
I say I'm a peacemaker too.
Oh, peacemaker.
A peacemaker, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I noticed that you love to gather family together. Uh,
Yes.
you like to include everybody, any event that happens, or anything you'd like for everybody to be there. Even if you don't want everyone to be there or expect everyone to be there, you're so deeply appreciative that people
Mm-hmm.
show up or go out of their way to show up to be with everybody.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So that collectivism part of you is still alive.
Yeah. Grew up in a big family,
Mm-hmm.
so I like big group.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that makes sense.
Even though sometimes I like to be by myself, but I'm much more comfortable with family, big group,
Mm-hmm.
include everyone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's a lot of fun in that too, and I think our family makes it fun. There's no issues with
Yeah.
anybody.
Always.
Yeah. Well, that's actually all that I have for today, unless you want to add anything else.
Always be you. Don't let anything change who you are. Like stay true to yourself, you know who you are. So stay true to yourself and yeah, be who you are. Don't change for anything. just because you are in a different country, you have to forget your culture, your traditions, and try to be something or someone you're not.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You're saying stay true to yourself and your culture, even if you do have to immigrate somewhere.
Yes.
Thank you for sharing your journey and your experiences and your challenges and your growth and just your story with me and the listeners. I know I learned a lot, and I'm walking away with a lot of information because this does directly impact me or related to me.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm hoping that whoever is listening can find some way to relate to your story as well, or be curious about their parents' story and ask them questions, or find the courage to ask them some hard, complicated, or layered questions as well.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because it's really eye-opening, and you kind of break some walls and barriers down between us where, yes, you're my mom, I'm your daughter, but at the end of the day, we are both just people and humans who are connected to each other, but we all have our own experiences, our own stories that need to be heard and shared.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, I want to add something too. Thank you for giving me this opportunity to share a little bit of my journey.
Mm-hmm.
But one thing I would say is, like you did with me, I think children of immigrant to talk to their parents, know their parents' history, their background, stuff like that. It's good to know where you came from, where your parent came from. It's very important to know your story and your history, very important. So I very much encourage young, first, second generation Americans to have those kind of conversation with their parents.
Yeah.
Because I know some kids being here, they even don't know their grandparents. They just stop at mom and dad coming from another country, and that's it.
Yeah, there's a lot to learn.
It's good to know, beside mom and dad, where they're from, who are their parents, stuff like that.
Like you said in the beginning, it's discovering yourself, each other, your family, where you come from. Like you said, history too.
Yeah. Very important.
Yeah. Yeah, hopefully this is encouraging for us children of immigrants and immigrant parents as well. Because I think there is a stereotype, and I think there's truth to the stereotype, that immigrant parents can be closed off. Maybe children of immigrants carry certain stereotypes or ideas of their parents without really knowing them fully.
That's true.
Yeah. Thank you so much, Mommy. I really appreciate it.
Oh, very welcome.
Thank you so much for listening. Hope to catch you in the next episode. All original music produced by Stubborn Soul. You can find him on all music listening platforms at STBRNSAL.